Hi everyone, welcome back. This is going to be a quick update video on this set of 6 complete pocket nature guides. I've been asked a question by a couple of different people now as to, I went through the book on the fungi and just gave you a brief idea as to how the books work with the page layouts and the descriptions and all the added information, etc. But I've had a couple of people ask me about the wildflowers and the seashore books in particular, as to whether they indicate whether the different species of wildflowers and you know, the species included in the seashore book are edible or not. And the answer to that is in some cases yes, and in some cases no. I would never suggest using just one book reference guide as the be-all and end-all of your identification process whenever you're looking at any fungi, you know, wild edibles in general. I would always advocate using a couple of different references. And to show you what I mean in this set here, I'll just take the books out. So looking at the wildflowers book first of all, it goes into an awful lot of details. When we picked one here, for example, which is around, if you can see it very well, the common nettle. The common nettle, everybody knows that there is an awful lot you can do with that in terms of when we're out there in bushcrafting and that sort of thing, getting some dirt time. You know, making cordage and using this as a wild edible. But what it doesn't suggest is that it is actually a wild edible. The only thing you've got here, I'd say, is a note saying abundant in chlorophyll. The leaves of the common nettle collected in vast quantities for dyeing camouflage nets during the Second World War. The fibrous stems may be used to make textiles. Well, you know, that's all very well and good, but I can't see anything in there at all that says it is an edible plant. So, as I say, the answer to that question is that yes, it does tell you in some circumstances and no in others. I'll see if I can find you another example. I mean, chickweed. You know, what does it say about chickweed? Well, this one says it's got some medicinal properties and is fed to poultry as a tonic. It doesn't say anything about humans eating it. I mean, it just indicates that it's got some medicinal properties. So, as I say, in some cases you'll get some answers, and in others you won't. This is a really exceptionally good book in the fact that it gives you an awful lot of detail about the plants and their regions and height and, you know, all those sorts of specification type details. If you're going to use this, I would suggest taking it out with an actual book on wild edibles, and you can easily cross-reference between the two. That's certainly what I would suggest. And if we have a quick look at the other one, which is the seashore book, again, having had a little look through this, you've got, you know, an example there where it actually calls this the edible crab. Now, if that is not an indication as to whether you can eat it or not, then I don't know what is. Something like you've got a section on limpets in here as well, for example. Whelks, you know, it suggests that the common whelk is this first line here, a large, much valued edible shellfish. But then when you get to something like I don't know, what can we find you as another example? Mussels, for example, it you know, obviously indicates that mussel is valued as food by humans, fish, starfish, crabs and birds alike. So, you know, it does indicate that it is an edible. What it doesn't go into with the mussels as much is the fact that you've got to be pretty careful with them. You know, things like how to prepare them. That's not what this book is about. So, you know, if you're going to use it for an identification reference, then, you know, by all means use it along with something else, but never take these things just as a single reference guide. So I hope that answers the question, guys. I still think it's exceptionally good value for money when you look at the fact that it's you know, about 15 quid on the book, www.thebookpeople.com or .co.uk. Try them both. You know, for 15 quid it's still an exceptionally good value set, and I would still advocate purchasing it, especially, as I say, for those young bushcrafters that, you know, want to you know, are so keen to get out there and identify everything they come across. So there you go. Hope that answers your question. Use it with other reference guides. Don't just use it as a single point of reference. And you know, hope you get on with it. I know one person has already said that they're going to be looking to maybe purchase this, which is absolutely fantastic. If one person gets a benefit from it, then I've certainly found it worthwhile making the video. So there you go, and catch you in the next one.